Hello everybody and welcome to Oak Hill Works, where today we are looking at a Hornby J83. As you can probably tell from the box, it's quite an old model. It is X.04 powered, so it is essentially the old Triang chassis. She runs, but she's in a bad way. She's been brought to me for repair, so I thought I would show you on video how one of these is all serviced. So before we start, professional YouTuber bit down there, like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, all those other wonderful things. And I will make sure to bring you more servicing videos so you can see what to do in the future. Now, this particular loco, as I say, has been brought into the shop I work at for repair. Just needs a service, and it shows just how resilient these old Triang motors and things are, because she's a runner. But if we take the body off, there is no, oh, go on, focus camera, professional YouTuber, remember, there is no carbon on the brushes for the motor at all. She's a bit smoky, but she will run in that condition, which I think we have to say is a bit of a testament to these motors and how good they run. I do have a load of brand new motor brushes. I say brand new, see, reconditioned motor brushes ready to go on. We've got everything else running. In general, she's not a bad loco. So what does she need? She needs new brushes, she needs cleaning, she needs lubricating, and that really is about it. That's all you really have to do to these. The motor, the magnet in this is still quite strong. It does not need replacing or recharging, both of which I can do through the shop. For those that don't know, that is Train Times Model Shop in Eastbourne. The channel is not sponsored by them. I'm just throwing the name out there so you know where to bring or send any repairs that you may have if you want them to appear on here. So the first thing I'm going to do, because it's always handy to have, get a little pot for chucking anything in there. We're not going to chuck the body in there. The body's big enough, we won't lose it. The fixing screw was already missing, so we're not going to chuck that in there. What we are going to do though is bring in the soldering iron and detach that motor brush. Ah, that was one of their small bits. Okay, we can reattach that straight away to save us losing it. But we're going to pop the spring off whilst we do everything. In fact, before we reattach this, we are going to give it a clean, because it is very green and corroded in there. But so you can see now the brushes themselves, there's just nothing left on them. They are completely worn down to bare brass, so they can go in there. We're going to clean it with a cotton bud and some isopropyl alcohol. Now I buy this in big gallon jugs and it lasts forever. Does evaporate off very quickly, so you want to make sure you always keep it capped. But you can see here the commutator is quite dirty. And you can see already the dirt that's lifting off that onto the cotton bud. So we just want to run this back and forth around here You can do it just like that as well, just holding it in place and spinning the motor around. And we're getting loads of gunk off of there. So it is nice and clean. So fun fact, it's the first video I ever recorded that never actually made it to air on the channel, was servicing one of these motors, and that was a complete stripped down motor replacement, the lot. There's a couple of bits to pick off there, but you can see even on that second side we've picked up a lot of gunk. And we're just going to take that same thing and run it on this bit of brass, which we do want to keep. And that has lifted all the green off of it. Not that the camera wants to focus for us today, but yeah, that is not green anymore. So we can, if we grab that with the tweezers, just quickly resolder that back on there. And now that's not going to go missing. So that is our only bit of soldering we're going to be doing today, actually. I do believe. And here we've got the spring. Now the spring, although a lot of people don't realise it, is another important part of the mechanism, because it does carry the power down one leg. So for this side, no, but so the power comes, yeah, the power comes up this side, down through the brush, out the other side and through the spring. That's what I was trying to say. See, I do know words. It's through the spring, down through this bolt into the chassis and out the wheels on the other side. I'll just put some IPA on my duster, and I'm just going to give this arm a clean off. And on here, around where it makes a connection with the screw, we'll wipe up anything that's spilt. So now, where our contacts are, this spring is now nice and shiny and clean, even if it doesn't want to show you it is. And the screw itself is looking reasonably good, so I'm not going to touch that. I'm going to reattach the spring there, which in itself is the cover for the insulation is quite dirty, so I'm going to give that a quick clean, but this I don't expect to clean up as well. I have quite often in the past replaced these with bits of heat shrink. Unfortunately, I do not have the right size here at the moment. Look at me knowing all the words I want to say. So now it's time to add the new motor brushes. So I've got plenty of them here. when you do repairs, these are always a good thing to have a supply of. It's quite common to get Triang engines in which just need new brushes. So you can see there the difference between the old one and the new one, where there is no carbon on the old one. So these have to be slotted up from below. If we drop that in there, we can pick it up with my pliers and get it through the gap. So we attach it to the spring. I now need to keep the spring in tension so that that one doesn't fall out. Of course, once this brush is in, that will hold the spring in tension. So again, drop it in place and just pick it up and through the hole with the pliers. And there we are, the new brushes together, holding that in place. Now I think really this should be on this side, which it wasn't originally, and then the insulation needs to move over to this side, because that is how I've always seen them, and that fits together very nicely now. So next thing we're going to do is just some lubrication. We've got our oil. You will note I will not use much of this oil. There is a pad here, so we just squeeze a bit of oil into that pad, and there's a pad at the back. We will squeeze a little bit of oil into that pad and making sure we get it spread out and around. And whilst we're at it, I'm going to drop a tiny bit of oil into each thread of the worm gear. And that really is that. The only thing it leaves me to do is pull my wheel cleaner out, because I currently don't have a test track. So we are using the wheel cleaner. You'll see it's got wires attached to it. We'll turn up the wheel cleaner and drop the loco on, because you might need some help getting going, but that is partly because of how the contact is going here, and partly because it needs to work the oil in, having not run for a while. And there we go. You can see now that the oil is working its way in, she's all right. Get the wheels nice and clean. No sparks, no smoke, no terrible noises. Just one happy loco. Obviously there are terrible noises when I've got all the wheels down, which is just purely the thickness of the treads on the driving wheels, where it's got all four of them against the brushes. But that is all that's to it when it comes to a light service of a Triang X.04 powered motor. I say these were in use up through the 70s with Hornby Railways. There's a lot of stock that has these motors in, and it's nice and easy to do. I have a Lima diesel to do next, so we'll have a look at servicing a Lima diesel. in our next video with the servicing. I shall see you then. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I hope to see you in my live stream on Sunday. Bye for now.